The concept of knowing oneself is a quest that has been pursued throughout human history. However, this exploration is not limited to discovering what is considered good or positive in us, but also involves facing and understanding our dark side. In this journey of self-discovery, we will delve into the importance of knowing and understanding this less desirable side of our personality. What is this dark side? How can it affect our lives? And how can we use this knowledge to our advantage, what we prefer to ignore? We all have a dark side in our minds, a part of us that we tend to hide or deny. This dark side harbors emotions, desires, and behaviors that we would often prefer not to acknowledge. Imagine you have a friend who is always calm and collected, but on occasion, when under pressure at work, he explodes in anger and says hurtful things to his colleagues. This is an example of how someone can hide their dark side of anger and then confront it in stressful situations. The reason we avoid facing our dark side is understandable. We dread the idea of being judged, both by others and by ourselves. But herein lies a crucial truth. Denying the existence of this part of ourselves does not make it go away. In fact, the more we try to repress it, the more powerful it can become. The food of the dark side. Suppose a person is trying to quit smoking, but occasionally gives in to temptation and smokes a cigarette. After doing so, he feels guilty and self-criticizes. This negative feeling fuels his desire to smoke more, which demonstrates how negativity can strengthen the dark side of an unwanted behavior. The dark side of our mind feeds on negativity and self-destruction. It feeds on what we deny ourselves and unfulfilled desires. When we do not face these unmet needs, we generate negative emotions that only strengthen that dark side. Let's take an everyday example. Suppose we know that we should not overeat fatty foods because it is detrimental to our health. However, we often give in to temptation and overeat. This action generates feelings of guilt and self-criticism. These negative feelings feed our dark side, which takes advantage of our self-inflicted weakness. Lack of good intentions. Our dark side is not affected by our good intentions. We may promise to improve ourselves, give up bad habits, or behave more ethically, but if we don't take concrete action, our dark side will continue to grow in the shadows. An example of this would be if a person decides to have good intentions to lead a healthier lifestyle, such as exercising or eating better, but yet does not take concrete action, such as joining a gym or changing their eating habits. Their good intentions will not translate into real change. This shows how good intentions without action are not enough to overcome your dark side, procrastination, laziness, lack of determination to improve yourself. Good intentions are insufficient. Action is needed to regain control. Unmet needs and negative attachments. Imagine someone who has experienced a previously toxic relationship in which they were betrayed and emotionally hurt. Because of that experience, he may develop a negative attachment to fear of rejection. Every time you meet someone new and feel there could be a connection, your fear of rejection prevents you from opening up emotionally and creates a pattern of sabotaging your future relationships. The dark side of our mind thrives on negative psychological attachments. These attachments can arise from past experiences, unresolved trauma, or toxic relationships. Examples of negative attachments include fear of rejection, humiliation, betrayal, and feelings of worthlessness. These negative attachments prevent us from feeling safe, balanced, and strong. They keep us trapped in a cycle of negativity and self-destruction. Every time we experience something negative in our life or remember painful events from the past, our dark side grows stronger and clings to that negativity as if it were its right. Facing the dark side. How can we cope with this dark side of our mind? The key is to consciously train it rather than repress it. Instead of avoiding what we don't like about ourselves, we must explore and understand those parts of our personality. First, you must recognize and accept that we all have aspects of our personality that we would rather not have, or that make us uncomfortable. Self-acceptance is crucial. Don't judge yourself for having a dark side. Take the time to reflect on what aspects of your dark side you would like to address if you feel anger, envy, insecurity, or some other negative feeling frequently. Identifying those feelings, those areas of you, will allow you to work on them specifically. Remember that change takes time and effort. Don't get discouraged if you face obstacles or relapses. Persistence and patience are key in the process of addressing your dark side. The solution to dealing with the dark side of the mind is to consciously train it. There are things you can't eliminate, but you can cope with them by becoming familiar with them. The greatest challenge is to go deep into the mind and eliminate all that is hidden in it. The dark side hides much more than unfulfilled desires, frustrated aspirations, or broken illusions. But only oneself can dive into it and explore. Whenever negativity arises in your life, whenever you feel that something dark is trying to take over you, that's when you have to try to find out why, without being ashamed. You have to accept that there is a dark side of your mind that is there, and that it is not going to go away just because you want to repress it. Repression will only make it stronger, and with more force it will explode as soon as it has the opportunity. Be brave, be honest with yourself, and try to release that negativity. Subscribe, and see you in the next video.